Hiryu no Ken is the ultimate kung fu stance that gives the impression of a flying dragon. And welcome to Magma WK's review of... presented to you by the minds of Culture Brain. I'll stand back and let the story speak for itself here. However, sorry, I just had to wait for that. And let's go ahead with Flying Dragon here. And we're going to start on beginner level. The story is pretty good. It's not the best, but it still beats the save the world or rescue the princess. Now here comes the first part. The side-scrolling journey. Which, you might not like the gameplay very much here. But the good thing is, this is not the meat of the game. Although it does take a good part. Oh, Ninja Girl! She want to throw stars at me! I take her out here! The object of this part of the game is to beat the 5 mini-bosses, so you can get further along in your adventure here. Gotta fight the Ninja Girl, the Strange Blob, and others here. And with each icon you pick up, you gain powers such as a stronger attack, increased speed and jumping skills. You can also collect other items to help you through the journey, including this nice shield here that knocks down the enemies until you get hit. Ah, ugly hag woman, I take you out! And I don't mean on date! But not to worry. It starts out fairly easy for you. And now you throw... what's this? The game calls them cosmic saucers.
The one and only Big Saucer! Saucer!
And the medicine's a great help there. I'll go through one round of the entire game here. The entire game may take you about, if you're an absolute expert, about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to complete. But this game does get much harder further on. And avoiding those goobers that fall down the pit there. We'll later on defeat this guy here to power up our cosmic saucer. And of course you notice there's no 5th slot. The 5th slot is for a key which will let us go on to the next stage here. So after defeating about 5 of these enemies here, we'll get to our final boss, which happens to be the Ninja Girl again this time. Nothing too hard there. And go through the double doors, and easy as that. And of course you get bonus points for completing the stage with a certain amount of life and time. I don't care about points, but the important thing, we got the first snake crystal in our Mandaria. I hope I pronounced that correct. This is where you'll find the various crystals and the secret scrolls. Now let's go meet the sensei. Yes. Thank you, Master Roshi. Now here's where we go through a tutorial, which will either make or break your liking of this game. It takes a while to get used to it, but I definitely like the way it does its offense and defense. The key is to hit certain points on your opponent when they appear. What do you mean, certain points? These little circles, which you'll see in about a second here. It's nice that they included a tutorial in this game. Not very many games did that back during the NES stage here. And it's basic upper, middle, and lower here. Defend upper, press up. Defend middle, press side. Defend lower, press down. Okay, are you bored yet? However, if you fail to pay attention during the tutorial and get hit or don't follow instructions, you'll end up with this lovely cutscene and you'll have to do the entire tutorial again. Now, we're going to skip ahead here and assume I did all the tutorial here. Okay, you got all that? Finally, real combat. Real-ish combat. Now, what's the objective? To hit the target. Hit the target. The punches are kicks. And then, of course, use your defense when the target appears on you. Pretty basic. But it does get more complex as you progress through the game here. And now that my KO meter's full, I can do some special techniques. That wasn't one of them. And occasionally through your bouts, you'll want to collect the little jars that go around there. Now we do a special move. Whoa, what was that? Normally, when your KO meter is not full, you'll do that regular spinning kick. But when it's full, you'll do that flying spinning kick there. And you can also do middle spin kicks and lower spin kicks. And you'll definitely want to collect those bottles as they'll become useful later on. Whoa, what was that? I caught my opponent's punch, then I pressed down and attack, and I was able to throw him for a massive amount of damage. So you're definitely not limited to just punch, kick, and special moves. You can also do throws as well. You can do your spinning kicks whenever there's a dot on your opponent, and sometimes when there's a dot on you. I'll explain that later on when we get into the bouts here. And of course, if you get a slew of dots on you, you can just fade back to avoid your enemy's attacks until a much more favorable position, like the upper dot on them, which is your best bet for your strongest attacks. Or to collect more bottles, for instance. Sometimes it does not collect them for some reason. That is a fault of the game. And I win! Yahoo! Now, we shall learn from Sensei the throw that I mentioned previously. So let's go ahead and skip to our next opponent. And after we defeat this opponent, we shall learn more about this strange combat system that's the missing link between Karate Champ and Street Fighters of today. Now we learn about special dots. Blue indicates the weak point, which will do is a little bit more damage than usual, and the star, which is the one-hit KO. Very rare, but it's nice when it appears. And now you get to fight the Sensei. And after we beat the Sensei here, we go on another journey. What fun! But first, let's learn about this evil organization that plans to abuse the scrolls that they have stolen. The Tusk Soldier Army! They will pay! But first, let's learn about some of our opponents in the World Tournament, shall we? Cutscene, please.